Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Coffee and Headlines, our morning get-together live here on Facebook, where we exchange headlines from our city, from our state, and our country. We take a look at your questions, ideas, and suggestions. We keep an eye on how we're doing as far as COVID jail is concerned. P.S. We're almost out of COVID jail. And we combine all this information so that we can have a hopefully well-connected life here in Puerto Vallarta as a community of English-speaking locals. As always, it is a pleasure to get together with you. And today, June 28th, is no exception. How nice to see you today in this very humid day. And how good to see that there are a lot of people saying good morning already, including Gina. Oh my goodness, I miss you, Gina. But I've been COVIDized all this week. Oh my goodness. I don't wish that to anyone. I really don't. But I'm happy to feel much, much better. And hopefully things will continue to improve. If anybody out there is watching and you are in the middle of COVID, hang in there. Hang in there. Take good care of yourselves and look forward, because it gets better. Today, we have some follow-up news about something that we talked about yesterday, which has to do with the availability of jobs here in Puerto Vallarta. And we also have some news about our mayor. He has a good theory about the jobs, or an interesting theory anyway. We have updates on vaccines, COVID vaccines for minors, and we have more news about crocodiles. Crocodile visits are bound to get more frequent, but we already knew that because it's the same news as last year. But in case you didn't get the memo, we will be so very happy to share it with you. Before we get started, as always, please let us know that you are new to the broadcast, and you can do that by writing the word new in your comment. If you do that, all we can do is wish you a nice little welcome, and we'll be so very happy to do that. If there's something truly important that you wish to share, please add a capital letter Q at the beginning of your comment, and that way we will not miss it, and we will address it in the second half of the broadcast. But now, let's get started with the news and take it from there. And of course, I push the button and nothing happens. Let's try this other button. Okay, so we have been talking about this business of job availability here in the state of Jalisco, and I noticed that we just went out of whack with our audio and our video. No need to report it. Hopefully, it'll correct itself. But here goes the news. The State of Jalisco Secretary of Labor, Marco Valerio Perez, presented a new website called Jalisco Trabaja, which is essentially a help-wanted website where all companies can upload their job offerings for these to be hopefully fulfilled. This, of course, is in response of the number of job openings available in both Puerto Vallarta and Bahia de Banderas that we reported yesterday and have reported before. So in case you didn't get that news, there are many, many jobs to be had. Excuse me. We still don't know why these job openings are not being fulfilled, but our mayor may have provided an interesting theory in this next headline. And of course, the headline says it all. Michel, our mayor, justifies low wages in Vallarta with training. So, the takeaway in this article is that our mayor has acknowledged that jobs are not well paid, but employers make up for it with training. Of course, we don't pay our rent with training. And it is quite possible that the jobs being offered out there have salaries that simply do not match the current financial needs of your average Puerto Vallarta worker. Mayor Michel was also asked about the latest on the Federación Bridge, and we know that the latest is that Nayarit announced last week that the federal government would finance its completion after all, along with a share of 100 million pesos that corresponds to Puerto Vallarta. Well, despite the fact that the announcement was made by Nayarit Governor Miguel Ángel Navarro Quintero, Mayor Michel has said that he hasn't talked to the good governor, nor could he answer about the 100 million pesos that Puerto Vallarta is supposed to contribute to the project. In other words, our good mayor did not get the memo. Do you suppose that maybe our mayor should be watching Coffee and Headlines to get the news? I don't know, but I get really amused by all these big decisions made by politicians here and there, and the response of other politicians saying, "Well, nobody told me." Anyhow, moving right along. Mexico President Andrés Manuel López Obrador is scheduled to meet with U.S. President Joe Biden in Washington, D.C. on July 12th. Needless to say, at the top of the agenda will be the disastrous incident that took place in San Antonio, Texas yesterday. And if you did not get those news, just write the word Texas in your comment, and I will gladly fill you in. We've been keeping an eye on the latest vaccine shipments arriving in Jalisco, and presently we are expecting vaccines for children ages 5 to 11. And according to this news item, 132,000 vaccines for that age group have indeed arrived in the state of Jalisco, and they will be distributed throughout all the municipalities. Vaccination for the age group will begin in Guadalajara on July 8th and will continue elsewhere in the state shortly afterwards. Let's see. With the rain season underway, the drought problem throughout Mexico is starting to diminish, which is good news. At present time, the states of Baja California, Sonora, Chihuahua, and Coahuila are the ones where drought continues to be quite severe as of last week. If you look at the map, we are essentially talking about the northern states. So we're going to take a look at the weather forecast in a second to see what we can expect for our own little corner of Mexico. But I see that some of you have written Texas in your comment, so I'll fill you in. This is very sad news. A trailer was abandoned outside of San Antonio, Texas, with a container packed with migrants who died of asphyxiation. The number of deaths has been called to be anything from 46 to 50, and several individuals, including children, had to be taken to emergency hospitals nearby. 3 people have been detained, but this is the most tragic incident of this nature that the United States has seen since the early 2000s, as I understand it. Needless to say, there's going to be more news that are going to be published about this, and we will keep an eye on those, even though this does not directly relate to Mexico. But of course, It has everything to do with immigration policies that need to be on the same page for Mexico and the United States. Let us now take a look at the weather just to see what we can expect. Any contradictory, there we go. Any contradictory weather reports are fake news, according to our snarky weather. It is now 27 degrees, feels like 29. Humidity is at 74, and we are enjoying 81 degrees Fahrenheit at present time. Our weather forecast for today calls for rain in the evening and overnight with a high of 30 and a low of 25. Tomorrow, tomorrow, Wednesday, it'll be rainy and humid throughout the day with a high of 31 and a low of 24. And then on Thursday, we will have rain in the morning with a high of 31 and a low of 23. The summer months. And I see that every time I change my scenes, that's when I get the funny delays. This is very frustrating, but I appreciate your patience. Just to stay in sync with you, I will show it to you. We might as well. We have one more to share before we move on to our comments section. And this has to do with crocodiles. Now that it rains, crocodiles are in the habit of expanding their territories. And according to experts, we are bound to spot an increasing number of crocs sauntering around bodies of water throughout the city, from lakes and rivers to the ocean. This is not new. It happens every summer. But for those of you that may be new to this, I thought I'd let you know. Best thing to do if you get up close and personal with a crocodile is to respect their space, even if their space happens to be under an SUV, like it happened maybe, what was it, last year or the year before? That a nice man was having dinner in Marina Vallarta and reached out to his SUV, which was parked on Paseo de la Marina. And as he approached the SUV, he could see the body of the crocodile under his own car. So what do? Well, you go back to the restaurant and have another cocktail and call the authorities, I suppose. Let us take a look at your comments just to see what everybody's up to. Albert reports a scorching woodland hills. Well, it's pretty hot and humid here. I haven't taken my temperature, but if I'm schwitzy, it's probably because it's going to be a hot and humid day here in Puerto Vallarta. Let's see what we have. Lots of wonderful good mornings. Lots of wonderful good mornings. Patty had to miss yesterday's show. Had to take COVID test this morning. We'll know by 4. Hope all is well with all. I'll keep my fingers crossed for you, Patty. I hope your test comes out okay. I have outings to go to at the end of this week. So I'm probably going to get tested tomorrow or the day after at the latest, just to make sure that I feel comfortable enough to be outside. Albert says, Gina missing sangria and chicken. Well, that makes 2 of us. Absolutely. Let's see what else we have. Oh, yes, I caught this through the corner of my eye. Happy anniversary for Den and Kathy. 47 years together, and you meet them and they are the most darling couple. Although they say that they argue. No, I'm just kidding. Of course they argue. Who would not argue? Paco, do you feel that you have turned the corner and will be back to your wonderful self soon? I'm almost there, Kate. Like yesterday, I even stretched myself and got a whiff. I got a hint of armpit. Like, I think I can smell again. And I'm happy and I'm antsy. I want to go out shopping, but I'm still mindful of going to the stores because, I don't want to spread something. But I am definitely on the mend, and I appreciate once again all the wonderful get well wishes that I've received all this week. It was trying, but it is definitely wonderful to be back. Absolutely. And I like this comment from Karen. I love to see that you guys are learning your snarky Spanish expressions. Oh, pues, mayor. Well, yeah. Well, every time that our mayor is cut away from the dude that handles Zapal, who seems to have all the important, smart answers, intelligent answers, our good mayor somehow does not answer quite well on his own, and shit happens. What can I tell you? Let's see what else we have. Oh, and a very happy birthday to our own Raymond Dunn. Raymond, if you are here and I've missed you, happy, happy, happy birthday. I hope you have a good one. Let's see what else we have. Oh, Kelly says the SUV is her neighbor. You mean you know the dude that had the SUV with a crocodile under it? That is so frightening. Uh, this is so funny. Crocs, don't hit them on the snout with a frying pan like the guy in a video I saw did. Oh, Sheila, if you could find that video and share it with us, that would make my day. How funny. Well, it's not funny, but that is funny. Um, Paula says testing really doesn't give you an all clear. After 5 days, you are clear to be back. Just wear a mask. You may test positive for a week to 2 months. Yes, I am afraid of that, Paula. And it's I'm still very very mindful of the responsibility of being out and about and making sure that I take good care of myself so that I can take care of other people. And again, the issue of the face mask is a given. I wear my face mask everywhere I go, and I think everybody else should. Let's see. Kelly knows two people who had Crocs under her car. Well, that's quite amazing. uh oh my god, and Sherry saw the video. See, now I have to go find this video of crocodile versus frying pan. I'll make it part of my goal for today. And of course, my goal for today is to continue to rest and to heal and to feel better so that we can go back to our usual programming with occasional walks and occasional food and occasional this and that. But I appreciate the fact that we are still here. And this, of course, what? Oh, so you're not even in town. My goodness, Raymond. Las Vegas. That sounds really ambitious. I hope you have a good time wherever you will be to celebrate your birthday, and I hope you come back to us safe and sound. And this, of course, brings us to the end of our broadcast. It is a pleasure, as always, to get together with each and every one of you every single morning, and we appreciate the fact that you keep coming back, and we appreciate your patience through these technical issues with the delays, and certainly your patience and loving care through my recovery from COVID. Um, Thank you. Thank you very much. Hopefully, we'll get together again soon, and hopefully, we will get together again tomorrow. I'll be here, and I hope you will too. Have a great day.